Uncuckables.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, this is the take two stream of the Uncuckables for this week. People are slowly joining in this new stream that we've set up. Yep, people can hear us now. Now,
fantastic.
I don't know what actually happened there because I was seeing through our broadcast software, my mic was working, your mic was there. Let's see if the audience can hear you, Dave.
Well, it's I guess it's better that we're sorting out the gremlins now than in a couple of Mondays' time. Monday, June 29, when the XYZ conference starts. That should be a very good week. We've got 5 excellent speakers lined up. Tom Sewell's going to talk about nationalism. James Fox-Higgins will talk about Western art and culture, which is quite pressing right now, given that it's being thrown to the dogs. Mark Moncrief will talk about traditionalism. Adam Piggott will talk about Christianity. And Blair Cottrell is going to talk about Black Lives Matter, and he's going to have some good advice for young men as well.
Yeah, you say it Cottrell, not Cottrell, like most of us do.
Well, you see, I'm from the bourgeois, so it's very hard to get rid of those roots. That's why I'm wearing the Melbourne scarf.
I think because even Adam Giles in that infamous Sky News interview where Blair just spoke pretty eloquently about what was needed to fix Australia, but Adam Giles introduced him as Blair Cottrell. And it seems to me that they're pronouncing it that way after the American Sex and the City actress Kim Cattrall, even though her name is spelt with an A.
Well, you see, we're gentrifying Blair's name. It's important, like we're normalizing Blair, we're normalizing nationalism. That's the whole point of that.
So we are live now on, I think we are, Entropy and D Live, and
D for Dave.
Yeah.
Seriously, they named it after me.
Oh, I'm trying to get Entropy set up again. I've got to start a new session.
Yeah, Stephen Wells, Lord Blair Cottrell.
No, isn't it God Emperor Blair Cottrell?
Yeah, we're trying to meme that into existence for a while. Yeah, it was pretty nice when Facebook used to allow his face to be shown without giving people automatic 30-day bans. It was magnificent clickbait.
Because that's how my Facebook page and profile got taken down, because they just went through all the stories I'd published during his trial and just went, yep, violates for terrorism. But as we've seen...
Interestingly, if you get a ban or your account deleted by Facebook at the moment, appeal it straight away, because they physically do not have the people to actually deal with everything. So it's like they automatically give you grace, and they don't actually have time, because I was supposed to get a 30-day ban for sharing a picture of Blair Cottrell, but I appealed it, and the ban never came through.
Though there is
thanks to coronavirus.
It can work both ways as well, because a lot of the lefty pages, which used to post about Blair and show his face, Facebook went through all of their old posts and zucked them all for terrorism, and some of them no longer exist.
With a little bit of encouragement, Tim.
Well,
you have no knowledge of that, right?
Yeah, a lot of the time Facebook has to be alerted to something, but now it's just
absolutely.
If you type in his name or show his face, there's the automatic algorithm and facial recognition.
Yeah. It's the.
Now you're talking about that tech doesn't malfunction for the XYZ conference. This was a very unique malfunction here, that everything was working on our end, but the reason why it's such a concern for the XYZ conference is because, well, it's likely to be a malfunction on the Dave end.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking for help.
You should see the text messages
there's
and calls we're exchanging where I'm just off air. We just lay into each other, call each other CF words all the time. Same with Maddie and James. We just swearing our heads off all the time, wanting to cut off each other's heads and piss on our corpses, calling each other rat fuckers.
I'm enjoying this segue. Keep it going, Tim.
And of course,
I will say that actually, working with Maddie has caused me to harden the F up. I can tell you that. He's a good man, Maddie.
I'm sure that certain authorities have already read all of our exchanges.
Yeah, pretty much. I basically just assume that everything that I put on the internet has been read. That's the way I always operate.
Yeah, so Teflon Dan, he's in a bit of a sticky situation.
I see what you did there, Tim. Isn't it just beautiful?
Because remember, it was Van Badham, that feminist who admonished Hamish McDonald, the Q&A host, for not recognizing the halo around Dan's neck, over his head, for saving the state from coronavirus, even though we've had an uptick in Victoria, 18 new cases the day before and 21 today, despite Victoria having the strictest lockdown.
Yes, Dan. I heard it was because one of the Black Lives Matter protesters had coronavirus and then promptly went to work.
Yes, at a H&M.
Really? How bourgeois of them.
And they went with friends as well, and now their workplace has to be closed for deep cleaning. So I guess it has added...
Well, not for coronavirus, just because they're lefties.
Yep, so Dan Andrews, it's all falling apart for him now. He is coronavirus response, and he is political party as well. He's lost, three ministers at the moment, including the main guy whose audio calls and videos were broadcast on 60 Minutes on Sunday night. Adem Somyurek, the powerbroker, he's resigned from the cabinet and the Labor Party. Let's have a look at his mug now. That's what he looks like. There's the different.
He's got the frown going.
It's called the faceless man. I don't think a face like that isn't really attractive much.
Yeah.
Well, yuck! Look at that one.
Never heard of him.
Sam Dastyari kissing him.
Gee, it's corruption kissing corruption, isn't it?
Yeah, Sam Dastyari, he was on the 60 Minutes expose. Basically,
an Iranian foreign invader and a Turkish foreign invader, both causing havoc in the party that used to protect the rights of Australians to actually have their own country. Please continue, Tim.
Because Dastyari, he appears on these corruption and exposés to sort of be, because he's sort of trying to play like victim now, like I got sucked into this and I did all this bad stuff, and it just seems like it's going on in the Labor Party as well. And they had Kevin Rudd on as well, because it's the 24th of June. That's when it's the 10-year anniversary of his coup against him in 2010, was replaced by Julia Gillard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm glad that we've basically got this scandal leaking out throughout the whole of the Labor Party. We all know that they're absolutely corrupt. It's not just the Labor Party, though. The Liberal Party are just as bad. The Liberal Party are just as treacherous. They present themselves as the Conservatives who They stopped the boats, but they just let the plane loads in, at least before coronavirus stopped it. But we've also got an entire bureaucracy, which is just corrupt. We've got a whole bunch of unions which are corrupt. It's good to see a little bit of this corruption just seeing the light of day, and just seeing a few of these people squirm. It's quite beautiful.
Well, there was a lot of speculation initially. How did 60 Minutes get this footage and audio recording? They said it was a year-long investigation, and everyone sort of figured out when they saw that it was filmed in a electorate office which had Anthony Byrne, federal member for Holt, on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is quite conveniently timed. I agree with David Hilton, and I'm glad he, when I saw him put it, this theory in his piece that we published yesterday morning, I was glad that he concurs. Basically, Daniel Andrews has undermined the national security of the whole of Australia. Generally speaking, independent states don't like regions of their state. They don't like the leaders of a certain region of their state making a deal with an enemy.
Are you talking about the Belt and Road that they signed with the Communist Party of China?
Absolutely. And so you've got a lot of maneuvering going on all over the world. You've got the United States has 3 out of 11 aircraft carrier groups deployed to the Pacific. You've got the Australian government working to secure petrol security for Australia. We've seen like a number of targeted assassinations by the US government around the world in recent years. And China is becoming increasingly aggressive. So things are heating up basically between the United States and China. The United States cannot afford for one of the most populous states in Australia to go rogue and basically become a vassal of the Chinese government. So it's entirely plausible. You can make a really strong case that this is the US government essentially going, look, it's either us or them. And if you go against us, we're going to make you pay for it.
And I guess what would fuel your theory is the fact that Anthony Byrne, federal Labor backbencher, is deputy chair of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Security and Intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
But there was nothing in this 60 Minutes program about the Belt and Road, anything to do with that. It was just about Somyurek's branch stacking, which is, to properly define it, it's when you sign up masses of members for the purposes of voting in pre-selections and party positions. So they'll vote for you. They don't do anything else except vote for you. And the really awful type of branch stacking, which both parties ban, is paying for other people's membership fees to the party. And what made it worse with Somyurek is that he was using taxpayer funded political staffers to do that branch stacking for the ALP. Oh, that sounds familiar, that story. Haven't we heard that sort of movie before?
Did something like this happen before one of the most recent elections?
Yeah, it was all the way back in 2014. It was before the last state election in 2018.
Something about red shirts or something, or purple shirts, was it?
Yeah, and fake timesheets.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, seems to be a meme, a running joke in the Victorian Labor Party or something like that, Tim.
Well, it's just gotten worse because it's been revealed that a taxpayer-funded migrant centre, their staff campaigned for the ALP in the 2018 state election. So they're at it again using a migrant centre which helped exploited migrant staff. And this goes to the title of the show, They Hate You, because in Somyurek's audio, because remember, this is the party that proclaims to care about women and family violence, LGBT people, multiculturalism. But Somyurek was recorded saying about the Minister for Women and Domestic Violence Minister Gabrielle Williams, "I will fucking force her out of the ministry. That fucking stupid bitch. When Andrews goes, she's a stupid, stupid mole. I'm going to fucking knock her fucking head off. She's a fucking psycho bitch."
I love the fact that they're telling us what they really think. Like people get hauled over the coals for saying completely innocuous stuff. This is what these people are really like. If anybody knows or has met people from the Labor Party, this is what they're actually truly like. They have a public front, but really all they care about is power, and they're evil, horrible people.
And he called members of the Young Labor Party passive-aggressive fags, which I've spoken to.
Where's the lie?
Yeah, I spoke to a Liberal student activist who said, "Yep, I've met some of those passive-aggressive fags."
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
But also, and this was revealed in because Somyurek has returned fire to Byrne, releasing his text messages where he's talking about signing up members of the Indian and Afghan communities for, well, and this is what the Labor Party has done for years, ethnic branch tax, which basically, well, you could form of it, what is it, new, you would say racial exploitation.
Yeah, well, I like the idea that BLM doesn't stand for Black Lives Matter; it stands for Black Lives Manipulated. That sums up the Labor Party.
And this is what, because it was revealed in, well, it was supposedly an exclusive in the Australian Anthony Byrne's text messages. What are some of the things he said here, Anthony Byrne? Let me go down here. In the private text, Byrne calls former colleague Mr. Destiaria a crooked, corrupt fucker. Where's the lie there? A female MP a drunk, and a female Labor activist a rat fucker.
He got that one off Kevin Rudd.
And Albo said, "I've counselled Mr. Byrne about his language and the inappropriateness of those comments."
He said, "Look, mate, just don't get caught next time."
I also discussed and sought an assurance from him that he had advice, which he has, that he has acted legally at all times, because the reason why 60 Minutes were able to legally broadcast that footage is because in Victoria, it is legal to tape a private conversation if you're a party to it. And obviously, if they were filmed in Mr. Byrne's office and they had the permission of Anthony Byrne or his staffers, then it's legal under Victorian law.
Okay, so you're saying Byrne was part of the setup?
Well, he's been the, well, it's pretty clear that the footage got from his electorate office to the 60 Minutes program, but he and Somyurek were factional allies for quite a while. And Somyurek outside his home today said, "Anthony Byrne is someone that I respect who taught me everything about branch work." And that's code for branch stacking, I would say. Yes. I have a lot of respect for the man, but I do think something is seriously wrong.
I just can't stop going back to the point that it's quite remarkable that something has come along that is just really actually for once actually undermined Teflon Dan, because Daniel Andrews has been able to get away with pretty much anything. It's like the old Donald Trump quote where he said, "Look, I could shoot somebody in Main Street, and my voters would still vote for me. They're that loyal." That's kind of where Daniel Andrews has been. Like, he can do anything, and the media will just let him get away with it. But this one is just too big to get away from. That sums up 2020. It's like every assumption that we have, everything that's normal has just been tipped on its head, and even here in Victoria, it's been tipped on its head again. It's blowing me away, which is why I go to my theory about the US being involved in this.
Michael Smythe has said in the comments, "Keep swearing, Tim. It's good to hear." Lol. Well, this is the
You're not swearing. You're just saying what they say.
Yeah, but this show is the Uncuckables, and I'm the editor at the Unshackled, so no speech is off limits, and we're not on broadcast TV, so I'm going to read the quotes in their full vulgarity for full impact.
You go, Tim. Never cuck. Never cuck.
So you should know when that you watch this show that you're going to be hearing quite some rambunctious things.
Well, yeah. Have you seen my headlines?
Oh yes. Well, that's just the entree. The headlines. You got to get into the text.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Please join us on Entropy. I'm putting the link in the chat where you can ask us a question or send through a super chat. The first question of the night is from Naughty Design. Why is there not an edgy poll here? I tried to think of one and I couldn't. Has anyone in the chat got a good poll question where I can really sort of wedge our audience?
I'm doing the Mussolini frown again.
It looks more like the shrug shoulders.
The what?
Well, yeah, it sort of looked like you're shrugging your shoulders there.
I'm trying to look like Mussolini.
Well, Mussolini had a hat, and didn't he have hair as well?
Who says we only send the abuse in our text messages, Tim?
Well, actually, a few fans of the show actually spoke to me after me and Maddie had a tense show, saying, "Is everything all right?"
That's just what Maddie does. I remember the first time we had you on our show. Maddie abused you for the first 10 minutes. It was great.
He's actually become, I would say, more mild over time. You're the one who's become uncontrollable.
Yeah, I found my voice, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, what's next on the agenda, Tim? What have we got? Oh, we're trying to come up with a poll. Is America descending into civil war? Yes or no?
All right. Because, well, there was another, you'd say, mini riot because there was another shooting, death of not an unarmed black man. He's stolen a policeman's taser in Atlanta, Georgia. So the death of Rayshard Brooks. So this on June the 12th, Atlanta PD. Officer Devin Robinson responded to a complaint about a man sleeping in a car blocking a Wendy's fast food drive-thru. So they made out like the police just disturbed him while he was sleeping in his car when he was blocking the drive-thru.
Yeah, it's always in the framing. In the framing. Yeah.
Yeah. So so the officer awakened Brooks, told him to get out of the car. Though he fell asleep again. So then Brosnan requested a DUI certified officer. That sounds weird, because Victoria Police, they always have breath test stuff with them.
Yeah, but if ever you see cops, that's a regular kind of thing. Like a police officer will pull somebody over just
Yeah,
in a car,
but it's
and then
just
they'll need to
weird
get somebody
that
else along.
In Atlanta's PD, that they have to call a DUI officer.
Yeah, I guess they've got specialist guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so his blood alcohol was 0.108 over Georgia's legal limit, which is 0.08. When Rory tried to arrest Brooks, he broke away, was wrestled to the ground where he punched the DUI officer. His name was... where is it here? Garrett Rolfe. So he stole his taser, ran away from the officers. Rolfe drew his weapon. Video footage shows Brooks trying to taser Rolfe, and then shot him 3 times. As Brooks lay on the ground, Rolfe kicked him and Brosnan stood on his shoulders. 5 minutes later, after the shots were fired, an ambulance arrived and Brooks was taken to the hospital where he died following the surgery. So there was another riot where the Wendy's was burned down, and on June 17th, which is yesterday or today, Australian time, the district attorney announced 11 charges against Rolfe, including felony murder and aggravated assault, saying Rolfe was aware that the taser Brooks had taken posed no danger. I'd never heard that. Yeah. What's the point of a taser if it can hold no danger?
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to the start with all of this. So yeah, the guy was drunk, and that's why he was asleep in the car. The staff at Wendy's obviously didn't want to risk waking a black guy because, given the current circumstances, they don't want to have any kind of involvement that could lead to a kind of confrontation. They don't want to be they don't want to be on the news. They don't want. I think maybe a lot of people aren't necessarily afraid of black people. They're just afraid of what will happen to them if they defend themselves against a violent black person. I think, the narrative at the moment is white victimization of black people, and so even if you defend yourself, you're going to be made to look like the like the bad guy. There's even footage of a store clerk, somebody just in a department store, and this black guy comes up to him and just starts hitting him and just abusing him. And they've tried to say, he reacted to something racist that the guy said on his telephone. But anyway, so back to Rayshard Brooks. So the police came along. They determined that the guy was drunk. If you watch the full footage of him talking to the officers, he's basically trying to talk his way out of it. Like, he's saying, hey, look, my family's at home. I'll just go back home. Everything will be fine. It's just been a long day. I've been working hard, all this sort of stuff. The moment that the police officers determine that he is over the limit and they're going to arrest him, something clicks in his mind and he starts struggling. And it's turned out the reason, we know the reason why that happened. It's because he was a convicted felon. He was only out, I think, on bail or probation or something because of the coronavirus. And so he knew that if he was arrested for a minor offense, he'd be back in jail. And so that's why, the moment they went to try to handcuff him, he started struggling. And you see the offences that he's been in jail for or in trouble for. And I think one of those offences, or at least a few of them, for violence against his own family. So the media have portrayed him as some kind of hard worker who worked hard for his family. But like George Floyd, again, this guy is not necessarily a good guy. You look at the footage, and basically he had overpowered 2 policemen and stolen one of their weapons. And he was running off with one of those weapons. He runs off with one of those weapons. They don't know what he's going to do. He could get a gun off somebody else and kill people. He could hijack one of the cars. they don't know what the guy could do. Like, he's already overpowered 2 police officers, as I say. So they made the right choice. And so the fact that this guy's been charged is entirely predictable given the current environment. But I think it's great that the Atlanta police are basically going on strike.
Well,
if they want to
it could become a nationwide strike.
It should. I think the left needs to find out the wisdom of the saying, be careful what you wish for. Because, like, why would you, as a police officer in the United States now, why would you have anything to do with a black person? You know that you either have to kneel to them, or you are basically going to get hauled. You either kneel to them, or you are put in jail. If you do anything to them, if you try to stop them, if you try to arrest them, and there's a camera there, you're stuffed. So why would you want to be a police officer at the moment? If you're an American now, and you have a gun, protect your family. Work with other white people to protect your family from like the chaos that's about to hit.
I can hear something in the background there. Like, what is that?
Yeah, it started off. I was just talking, and a hiss started up. Must be A's ear.
Yeah. And we've got a few questions here on entropy.
Hang on, boys.
Oh, who was that?
It's Senator Slayer. What's going on?
Hey.
That's the hiss. That's the
Hey, you
hiss.
can't hear my video game, can you?
We can hear fans, computer fans.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah.
What are you all doing?
Well, you've been watching, haven't you?
Oh, a little bit. I've been playing the game, but I'll get off it now. Yeah, I basically heard about the police, mate. The police have been violent for as long as I can remember, yeah? Like, I've got some crazy stories about police when we were younger, yeah? I remember when a mate of mine, when I was like 17, stole a car. I was with him at the time. And the copper, they were driving down the opposite side of the street. And we all legged it out of the car and jumped a few fences. And I was a bit of a heavy-set bloke, yeah? So I could only get over one fence, and the mates kept going. So I sit behind this shed, yeah, with my back to the way in, and I hear this copper jumping the fence, and he falls over and goes, "Oh, fuck it," and he fell and must have injured himself. He gets up, he sneaks up behind me, and smashes me with a Mac torch in the back of the head, in my back, probably about 10 times. Split my head open. I didn't know how bad my injuries were. He handcuffed me and he threatened to beat the crap out of me unless I gave up my mates. I gave a couple of fake names. Anyway, I get taken back to the police station. He used my face to open up every single door in the police station. There was cameras too, mind you, back then at the police station. And I'm sitting there and he brings in a bit of paper. He goes, "If you don't write down who your mates are, it's going to be a free-for-all." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm not." I was already kind of half drunk anyway. I just went, "Yeah, no, I don't care." Anyway, the senior sergeant of the police station comes in and goes, "Lift your T-shirt up, mate." And I lifted it up, and I couldn't see what was back there. And he's like, he goes, "Oh, fuck." He goes, "Look, I'll be back in a second." He comes back with a piece of paper, and he goes, "Sign this, and you can just go." And I signed it. I get home, and I had welts they're pretty much scarred. I've still got them on my back now. They were like welts about 2 inches above my back. The police beat up people for years. Like what I see on these videos with these African American men, that's nothing. Like so many white people have been beaten up by cops and don't cry victim. But what I find really hilarious about this, the only African American heroes they have in their community are all convicted criminals. They're all scumbags. They've got no heroes that are like actually educated, have some good morals. They're all
well, it's
no
they
impulse
turn
control, uneducated, and criminals.
These African Americans who've died with interactions with the police, they hold them up as heroes. One of our articles that we published on the Unshackled this week was St. George of Minneapolis, because there's all these murals to him.
Yeah, look, let him go. I reckon let him go, mate. Why are we defending this system? I've had a few conversations with a few nationalists, yeah? this system, this country, this nation, even the flag in some instances represents homosexuality, LGBTI+, represents communism, represents leftism, represents globalism. Why are we defending the government? Let the left go. Let the left rip them apart, and we'll pick up the pieces later. I reckon this is hilarious.
So you would actually support taking down the Australian flag and putting up a gay flag with a hammer and sickle?
Not putting up a new one, but what does all this stuff represent now? It doesn't represent my grandfather or my great-grandfather. It represents a country that's long gone. It represents, and I don't want to be too vulgar, it represents homosexuality, it represents LGBTI, it represents globalism, it represents communism. It doesn't represent us anymore. This whole country's gone. I don't know why we're still fighting to protect them. The establishment aren't our friends. And the left are fighting their own. The left are fighting the same establishment that props them up and defends them and deletes us and bans us and takes our bank accounts. Let them go. That's the perfect medicine, I reckon.
You summed it up well. This is the beauty of accelerationism. I love how the left try to say, the right are trying to be accelerationist by making the system collapse. It's like, no, all we have to do is not get in the way.
They're the ones who chose to burn down America.
Yeah, that's it. All we have to do is let you do what you want to do.
Yeah, what is it? The art of war, don't ever interrupt your enemy while he's making a mistake. Is that the right thing?
Yeah, there you go. Either that or it's a good proverb. Yeah.
Maddie's he's popped up in the entropy questions for, I think, a right of reply. That's a quick right of reply. I know of another person who we've said stuff about on this show who's made an instant reply. So Maddie says, I haven't become more mild. It just seems that way because Dave's gone full Oswald Mosley. Question, how late was Dave today? Well, the show was late because we had that bizarre technical malfunction where everything was working on both our ends, but no sound was coming through. And then, because you called Senator Slayer about 3 or 4 times, I tried to merge the calls, but it didn't go through. So a lot of wacky techie stuff happening tonight.
It's strange, mate. Your mate Peter Grace has hacked your Skype, I think. Hey, is he still blackbirding the Aboriginals? Is he still using their talent to make money? Or
I think the videos are still up on his what's remaining of his Facebook presence.
He has to share memories now to actually get a video up. Yeah.
We are his life. We live in his head rent free.
Well, that reminds me of something. There was this. Dave loved that there was this meme.
It's an amazing meme. It's an amazing meme.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen it.
Yeah, because
yeah, this is the original one. Do you want to read it out, Dave? Because it's about you.
Okay, so I had just listened to the first movement of Rachmaninoff's Third Piano Concerto, and it was just a real powerhouse performance. It's his Third Piano Concerto. It's the one. It's got this theme. And then it just comes back with all this just amazing stuff. It's just hang on, I've got stuff all over my piano right now. Anyway, so I heard it and it's just amazing performance. And I'm like, no other race has been able to achieve what Europeans have done. And so it just inspired me to just write a very, very short article. So I said, dear black people, your argument is invalid. Also, we're better than you. And so then I just embedded a video of this guy performing the Rach 3. And then I said, you will never, ever win a war against white people. We haven't even begun to fight. Sincerely, white people. And then like the guy who's made this meme has put my name and XYZ. And I love the shot. Like usually when I see photos of myself on the live streams, I feel a bit cringy. I'm like, I'm just pulling some weird face. But, like I actually look half decent there.
It is a good photo.
If I didn't know better, I'd swear this was made by a fan. It's beautiful. I love it. I want to make this the banner on XYZ. Where like when you come to the page, I want to put that up. It's beautiful. But I thought that it wasn't quite complete. So I had a chat with Ryan Fletcher, and he helped me out, and he made a few additions to it. Yeah, there we go. I think that's just about right. So I think we'll put that up on the banner on the XYZ. We'll make it that'll be what you see. I don't like to be too self-indulgent because there are some great contributors to the XYZ, but we'll have that up there for just for a little bit.
Yeah, because they get a bit conflicted. They don't know whether to make, because there's two ways they get you. Yeah, they make you look like a joke, or they make you look dangerous.
Yeah.
So they often conflict. So I think it's better to make it look dangerous.
We've combined the two. Yeah. Love it. Absolutely love it.
So Maddie's got another question here. A serious question, he says. Instead of an online conference, why not see if we can organise one in real life somewhere? Anyone have a venue we can use, like a church or something?
Absolutely. Well, I think the idea of the online conference, so the XYZ conference, it'll be Monday, June 29 to Friday, July 3. I was basically making the assumption that this lockdown will last for, forever, because we're in Victoria, we're in communist Victoria. So if we're going to do a conference, let's do it all online. That way we don't have to worry about if restrictions are going to be lifted in time and all that sort of stuff. And I think it's a good prototype for what we can do in the future.
Why don't you just go down to Moorabbin? I won't say whose place that is, but that's a good venue, man. You could have 10 people up on a stage.
It's an excellent venue. I think it's definitely the sort of thing that we can do. I'd like to have another one up in summer, like maybe just before Australia Day, because you know that the left is always, January 26th is like peak leftist time now.
The day of hate for them.
Yeah, that's it. So we may as well organise to have an event at the same time, and it'll just be the far left and the far right just all getting hyped up together. It'll be amazing.
We've got a couple of questions here from St. Fox. Poll idea: what is Tim Wilms' sexuality? Gay, super gay, or massive faggot?
What are you aren't you self-attracting? Self-attracted? What's that new term?
Same-sex attracted.
No. What is it? Self-partnered.
Oh, that's what Emma Watson.
Yeah, you're asexual. You're just like you're in love with yourself. Is that right?
Well, it was coined by Emma Watson, the Harry Potter feminist star played Hermione, because remember she got up at the UN and talked about feminism, and they all clapped at the UN and said stunning and brave. She shaved her head now, I assume, for Black Lives Matter now.
Who looks worse with a shaved head, Emma Watson or Natalie Portman? Make that the poll.
All right.
Well, Natalie Portman's hook nose is more prevalent when she has a shaved head. Anyway,
that's a good point. Yeah. She kind of needs the hair to make herself look like a European. Yeah. Seriously, like V for Vendetta, it is one of the. Medi, definitely call up. We'll get 4 on. If Medi wants to come on
Skype.
Yeah, absolutely. I won't talk much. I'll just sit back.
Like a V for Vendetta, it's an awful movie. It's just a dog of a movie.
It's made by the Wachowski sisters, as they are now.
Yes. They'll always be brothers. They're just brothers who've mutilated themselves. The movie is bad enough, but then when Natalie Portman shaves her head, it just gets worse. And like the thing about it is, like she shaves her head, or has her head shaved, but then in the timeline of the movie, 6 months is supposed to go past, but her head is still shaved. It never grows back. It's like, okay, are they just shaving it on her every day, or does she shave it? It's
all right. Polls launch.
Yeah, just stupid. Fantastic.
How did they shave their heads back then? Anyway, didn't they only have like scissors, or was there any like?
Oh, there's buzz caps.
V for Vendetta, it's actually set in the year 2020. Apparently the plot of the film is that like a massive virus has killed off most of the population of the United States. Intriguing, huh?
Yeah, and the ruling party has black and red colours. It sort of looks like a certain flag of a certain street gang at the moment.
Yeah,
but this is the same playbook, but like this is what a lot of people don't realise. Like Mussolini, he was a socialist, yeah, and socialism wasn't really getting people going. It wasn't getting the bodies in the streets. So he discovered, fascism, and then it's kind of like, I know we like to mock these commos, but the old communists I have a bit of respect for. Yeah, they kind of had some same values.
Bourgeois, Lenin was, Marx was. Stalin was the only one who was like a real put it like this. As long as the country keeps its class brute.
As long as a country keeps its homogeneity, like its racial identity and its family values, I couldn't care less what we live under. It doesn't really bother me. As long as the country has the same family values that we're all used to, has the same racial identity, it's not getting overpopulated or replaced by a foreign element. Look, politics change every 50 to 100 years, so it's who knows what's going to happen in 100 years from now, if you know what I mean. As long as your country keeps its homogeneity, I'm pretty happy. Like I'll go through it. Like it's not a big issue. So I think, just let the left go, mate. Just let them go. I think it would come back to that anyway.
So I've made the case that a country can survive communism. A country can survive basically being enslaved. Now. Yes, but a country cannot survive cultural Marxism. Because
that's the difference. Yeah, sorry, you're right.
Yeah. Because cultural Marxism, multiculturalism, mass immigration, you have that going for several generations, and as you can see, it puts the people in danger of just becoming extinct, sort of at their own hands. The situation is being forced on us, but it's like we face the possibility of going extinct without even putting up a fight.
So what you're saying, Senator Slayer, is you want Australia to remain Homo
sapien, yes. I've got no problem if you want to be a Fa'afafini, man, but just don't try and teach my kids that shit. And don't try and make it the norm. Don't put them in every single film. And don't tell me it's normal. That's my basic argument. Yeah, you can do what you want in your own house, man. I'm libertarian with that kind of stuff, but just... I don't want to see you kissing in the street. Even like men and women kissing in the street makes me sick. Like, you don't need to be so close, and because I live down in South Yarra, yeah, so I'm always rolling around there. I see two dudes holding hands, kissing each other. Like, really?
Holding
Come on,
hands
man.
in pub. Well, it's not.
No, they're trying to say, hey, look what we're doing. Someone say something. Yep. Like, because I want to be a victim.
No one's
Please say something. And the lesbians do it a lot more too.
Yes. It's actually a form of it's a way of taking over a geographic space. It's similar to how like I've made the case that the Islamic headscarf on Muslim women, it's not necessarily, yes, it's about keeping control over the women, but it's also about claiming a territory as Islamic, because the more headscarves that you see in a certain area, you understand, okay, I'm in a Muslim area. So the more gay people that you see holding hands and kissing in public, you're like, okay, I'm in a gay area.
Well, and they congregate the rainbow flags outside the businesses there, that we're a gay-friendly business.
Yes, but what I'm talking about is like people. People congregating in an area and making it, and basically claiming it for themselves. That's
it changes the vibe and the atmosphere. Yeah, becomes normalised, doesn't it?
Yes.
St. Fox has got another question. When do we plan a march in Melbourne against degeneracy, the anti-white agenda, and the police state?
Don't have a march unless you can get 100 people.
Oh, it's still 20
people. These people who keep making rallies where you only have 10, 20 people, it actually does the opposite effect to what you want. Like if you have a rally with 10 people, it makes your side a lot weaker. So get the time up, get the support, and make sure you get at least 100 people before you do anything.
How about a gay pride march in Lakemba?
Well, that's apparently...
or even Caulfield.
That's apparently where the Priscilla, Queen of Lakemba, that's the new remake.
You think clever was coming from.
Yeah, because if they went to Alice Springs again, it'd be like, hey, welcome. Like, it'd be a boring movie.
Good point. Hey,
are you guys having a few beers tonight or what?
Yeah, I've got the cider out there, the summer's beer.
I had my tea because I'm bourgeois tonight.
Mm.
Yeah. On the subject of Ayers Rock, what do you guys think of basically dynamiting the thing just out of spite? Hey, if you guys are going to destroy our statues, we're going to destroy some.
Although Menzies in the 50s, he, what is it, nuked Maralinga on behalf of the British.
Hey, Dave's cutting out.
Yeah, he is.
What has he got, dial up?
I told him to go on the 5G.
Yeah, get them cancers into your brain.
Well, what's the latest meme about?
Call Tim.
You're back now, Dave.
Yeah, I think...
he's on with Matty, I think.
Yeah, Matty, tell Matty to call Tim's number. I reckon you'll get better sound that way.
Who's calling who?
Matty's trying to call in. Stephanos.
Yeah, call the Skype, Stephanos.
No, I think he's going to have to call your phone. I don't think he says he doesn't have Skype or he's in bed or something.
This is going to be... He's got Skype.
That's going to be epic.
Mate, Matty's good value, mate.
Hello?
As long as we don't talk about the holler shit. It'll be all right.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit complicated. So, yeah, what do you want to say?
Can't even hear him, Tim.
Okay.
Hold it closer to the mic.
Just a quick one.
Put it on speaker and hold the bottom of the phone to the mic.
Can you hear that?
Oh, that's Stefan.
Yeah, can everyone hear me? Is it all good?
Nah, not really.
No, I can't hear you.
It's too low.
Okay, all good. Don't worry about it. Maybe next week.
Yep. I don't do, like, literal phone-ins now.
I thought you were saying Matty, Dave. I didn't know it was Matty.
Just call him. Just call him Stephanos on here.
Yeah.
We've got a super chat from Savnik for US $50. Thank you so much. Always very generous. Neil is right. Let the deranged lefties do their thing. It's only waking up more sheep. Protect yourself and stay out of it. Who was pouring a drink there?
Yeah, I'm trying to make our greatest fan, disgrace himself. Yeah.
Let him do the hard work for us. This is the hard work.
Yes.
Getting troops on the streets, man. Let them do it.
Yeah. I personally don't believe that this system can be saved. What we need is something to basically turn the system upside down, and that gives... And then that will provide openings. So obviously, yes, we organise and we find ways to support each other. But what better way for the system to provide us an opening than for its own internal contradictions to provide us that opening? And that's what's going on right now.
Because communism never works. Never ever does.
You look at Germany, post World War I, like they were fighting the streets for a long time. Like it wasn't easy. Right versus left, but a lot of people don't realise Antifa were actually a splinter cell of the National Socialist Party. They actually believed a lot of the policies within, the Third Reich, but they disagreed on a few small elements. So a lot of small factions will come out of it. So let it go, man. We can pick up the pieces and we'll be in a better position to do some after, the world collapses, I guess, because I think it's coming. I'm not even being hyperbolic. Yeah.
Let's keep going with this line of thinking. So I've made the argument, just say America descends into chaos. China, which is still more or less a strong unified country.
Although they're having a second wave in Beijing of the coronavirus.
Yes. Yep. So China decides to make the most of the chaos and invades Australia. I personally would not go to fight for the Australian state. I would defend my people, but I would not fight for the Australian state because the Australian state, as you say, Neil, is a state that stands for globo homo. It stands for mass immigration and replacing us. So I'm not going to fight for a state, for a government that is against my people.
Exactly, man.
Did you hear that?
What are we fighting for, really?
Yeah.
Think about the positive things we're going to fight for if we had to go to war right now for Australia. We're going to fight for... We're second-class citizens in our nation. Like, you, Dave, you're worse than a murderer or a... You know, in the community. Like, if you were a convicted murderer and you just got out of jail for killing a woman, you would be able to get employment easier than what you are now. Like... And it goes with all of us. So we're not part of this society. We've been ostracized. We're like people with the plague. Yeah. So why would we fight for this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There was somebody who said that being labelled a fascist is just as bad as being labelled a pedophile, which I find a completely ridiculous comparison.
It's worse. It's worse.
Yeah. But basically, if you oppose the genuine interests of the system is going to go after you with everything it's got.
Did you? I'm sure you saw what Lydia Thorpe, that former state Victorian Greens MP. The Herald Sun reported that she was open to changing the name of Victoria. She claims that she was set up by the Herald Sun reporter, because asked her, so should we change the name of Victoria? And she's like, oh, it's up to the people. It's a conversation we can have. It's like, then you took
that's interesting.
Then you took the bait. You basically...
Yeah. Don't be surprised.
Dan Andrews Stan it will be the new name.
Yeah, like seriously, like, so they start with statues and street names. Here in Melbourne, we have literally already changed the seat named after the literal founder of Melbourne. Like, it's no longer called Batman anymore. So, like, literally the guy who founded the city, we can't name a geographical region after him.
Well, he bought the land through a fair transaction with the local Aborigines. Yet he's still the bad guy.
Yes, exactly. And the guy who literally discovered the country is getting graffitied, and they want to tear his statue down as well. What we're seeing at the moment with all the Black Lives Matter stuff going on is all the stuff that even a few years ago was fringe postmodern university stuff is now you see all the corporates basically like reading out of these far left textbooks, like just verbatim, because they're worried that Antifa terrorists and Black Lives Matter terrorists are going to come down and burn down their offices, and they're worried that gangs of Antifa and Black Lives Matter terrorists are going to bash them. What we're seeing is what used to be the fringe is now centre and is just being allowed. So somebody makes an outlandish suggestion to change the state of Victoria. Don't be surprised if in 10 years' time they're talking about it seriously. They'll be like, oh, you know, Queen Victoria like oversaw all these oppressive things by the British government. Oh. Like they're defacing Winston Churchill's statue. Don't be surprised if Victoria's next.
Well, New Zealand already has a alternative name, Aotearoa, the Maori name for it, and there's relaunched Super Rugby competition. It's not called Super Rugby NZ, but Super Rugby Aotearoa.
There you go. That's how they do it, step by step.
So I wonder if AFL will change its name to Aboriginal Football League.
Well, haven't they tried to sort of say that they've tried to make up this story that the Aboriginals kind of had their own version of AFL?
It was stolen by the white man. It is an Aboriginal game to Australia because
because we invented it.
Yes.
Basically everything that you have will go.
The AFL just sucked for me last weekend. Empty stadium, and then taking the knee before every game. And I mentioned on Trad Tasman Talk on Tuesday, because I think that the AFL, they have this guilt complex about the end of Adam Goode's career still, because they apologised to him. Adam Goodes could actually make a comeback now because he wouldn't get booed. There's no chance.
It's so true. You know what? He could probably walk into the Melbourne side and he'd be the best player as well. Wouldn't even have to train.
Well, the TV networks, they could add in cheers every time he gets the ball.
Yeah, that's it. It's quite a deal, isn't it? Hey, look, you can have football back, but you just have to cut your balls off to watch it. I just love the fact that my satire sort of half predicted the future. Like I made this satire that crowds were allowed back at the football because the AFL had classified every AFL match as a Black Lives Matter rally, and I said that at the start of the match, all the players in the entire crowd had to kneel for 8 minutes and 48 seconds or whatever it is, and that's how long George Floyd had the knee on his neck. Yeah. And what do you know? Like all the players are kneeling at the start of the game. Entirely predictable.
Yeah, but this was coming anyway. It's just that was the pinnacle that started it. But look, it's like I've been saying for a while to personal mates and that. The problem is when they implement these things over time. So like, no offense to any homosexuals out there. I'm not trying to attack your lifestyle or anything. But what I'm saying is, like, they spent 30, 40 years pushing the homo agenda, yeah? It's like the death of 1,000 cuts. So you're talking 30, 40 years, the boomers, our mums, if they want to be gay, just let them be gay. It slowly implemented itself into our society, into our institutions. When you start to speed up that process of like 2-3 years, like they're doing now, and just implementing it really quick, it's more obvious to the normies out there working. And the quicker they do it, the more it can be resisted mentally. Like, if it's a slow process, it's kind of like grooming, yeah? They've groomed it. But if it's done within a quick, short period, I think it's good for our side. I think it would get some sort of a blowback, at least mentally, by the population.
There was literally a Black Trans Lives Matter rally in the United States.
Massive. What was it, like 50,000 people?
Yeah, in New York. There were also rallies that took place in Chicago, San Antonio, Texas, and Boston. Like, it's a meme. Like, Black Trans Lives Matter. It was a jocular meme that people on Reddit and 4chan created like 5 years ago. Now it's a thing.
The memes are coming to life. I love it. Just like they memed the monkey into existence with the Kellogg's.
What monkey is this?
Oh, the Cocoa Pops monkey. Yeah, he's racist now. Even though monkeys like a monkey it's an animal. Like, it's an actual animal. Like, if you go to the zoo, you'll see monkeys. Like, what are they? Should we just like ban all images, or not have monkeys at the zoo or anything?
Well, apparently, like, yeah, if black people are getting triggered by seeing a monkey being on the box of a Kellogg's Cocoa Pops, then maybe there's a reason for it.
Well, it's a guilty conscience, isn't it? Like, if they see that, well, then
they protest too much.
They protest too much.
Yeah.
I think that they should rename mandarins because it's offensive to Chinese-speaking Mandarin people. Because, well, it's orange, so it's sort of it's close to the stereotypical color of Asians being yellow. So I think we need a new name for mandarins.
Absolutely, Tim. I'm amazed nobody's thought of that yet. We're gonna have to start that one up too.
Yeah, don't get me started on the Filipinos, man. But, yeah.
We've got another super chat from Naughty Design, who asked a question before now, sending through a super chat for $5 Australian. I'd suggest that sitting back may well be a bigger risk, as if the left continue with this purity spiral, will be rounded up before you know it. Well, you had the Patriot movement for from 2015 to you'd say the end of 2019 got completely deplatformed off Facebook. They gave it all they got, but because the media, social media, politicians, academia were all on their side, and the same with this new anti-lockdown movement.
Yeah, the problem is we had no one in our corner. Like, none of the Conservatives on Sky News backed us up. They're just like gatekeepers. If we had some sort of, cheerleaders, we could have at least survived. But you got everyone coming out against you. You got the government, you got the media, you got the education system. Like, I mean, they had literal, in New South Wales, they had, what is it called when they go to their Congress? I don't know too much about politics, where they sit and they condemn someone in Parliament.
Oh, yeah.
They condemned us, I think, at least 7 times. Like, we're talking both sides of the aisle, Liberals as well. There's no one backing us up.
Censor motion or something like
that. Yeah, censor motion. They censored Blair Cottrell once, like just him as an individual. It was like funny, but there's no one backing us up at all. So how are you going to win a war? Like, even if we went to war with the left right now, like a pretend war, I'm not really being
in Minecraft. You're talking about Minecraft. In Minecraft, yes.
In Minecraft,
we would lose hands down. Hands down, we'll lose. It wouldn't even matter if Dave went and faced the left. There's 100,000 lefties there, and Dave, put on the Australian flag and stood there, and they murdered Dave and lynched him all down the street. They'd find a way to write it in an article that Dave was the aggressor. So it doesn't matter. You can't even martyr anyone. There's no system set up to martyr anyone. Would lose hands down, 100%.
Over in the UK, David Cameron, the Conservative Prime Minister, in the UK riots were in 2011. The English Defence League, which Tommy Robinson had founded, that was in its peak of its popularity. They were some of their members were going out to defend property from the rioters and looters, and David Cameron said, "I've called the rioters sick, and there's no one sicker than the EDL." Which, well, you look at Tommy Robinson, what he's been through since 2011.
So that's interesting. So even back in 2011, they're essentially calling the people who were trying to defend property, that they were calling them the bad guys, because that's what's going on in Britain now. Like, the guys who are going out to defend statues are being labelled far right.
Alliance.
Yeah.
Well, and you have a look at the far left. David Shoebridge, his staffer, allegedly, has I think has been caught on camera vandalizing Captain Cook's statue. He's neither condemned nor sacked her. David Shoebridge,
of course
the
not.
Greens, but that shows you the difference between left and right. They even defend people such as that, elected far left members of parliament.
Yeah, apparently there might be some info on the other one who was involved too. But yeah. Tim, I think Maddie's saying for you to call him.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not?
No.
All right.
So thanks for the super chat, Naughty Design. James Boom has a question. Do you have a good poster or sticker slogan for counter campaign? Maybe don't let communists tell you what to do or what you can say. Are you talking about new hate slogan like All Lives Matter?
Oh.
Because Pauline Hanson tried
it'd be
that.
funny if someone actually went out there and put up fake posters. That would be funny. Pretending to be BLM.
What was that?
The thing is, like, it's like the satire. Like, you can't say anything that's outlandish enough that they won't support.
Well, anything goes now, doesn't it? It's
yeah.
The imagination is very large.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I guess you could call for them like you could. Yeah, you're not going to think on the fly.
Yeah. We should also talk about that sickening attack on that defenseless 16-year-old white girl at Southern Cross Station on Sunday afternoon. Victoria Police this afternoon, they finally announced that on Twitter that they're launching an investigation. Victoria Police became aware of a video circulating on social media of a teenage girl being assaulted at Southern Cross Station at about 9:50 a.m. on Sunday, 14th of June. Transit Crime Investigation Unit detectives began investigating the incident in an effort to identify and reach out to the victim. Investigations have been made to contact the victim. However, no official complaint has been made at this stage. Detectives would like to speak to anyone who witnessed the incident or has any information that could assist with inquiries. Anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers or contact their local police station. And shall I play the footage again?
Yeah, gotta play it.
Because I played it last night on Wilms Front, but it's definitely worth playing again. Which is, it was a gang of 8 women of African appearance attacking her.
Disgusting, mate.
And
I hope they find them, and I hope they deport them, and I hope they deport their whole families.
Yeah. I know that Blair Cottrell on his Telegram, he posted links to who, or it was circulating who are the alleged suspects in the attack. This is on his public Telegram channel. And a GoFundMe was set up by one of the friends of the girl's mother, and it had a $5,000 fundraising target. It's reached $45,000 and is now closed now, which is that's pretty incredible.
Oh, is that for the girl who was bashed?
Yeah. So it was for medical expenses, psychological therapy, and self-defense classes. Because if you look at her there, she's just taking it, and it's just like, you sort of like, obviously it's horrific what happened to her. She might have just been in shock, but my advice to her would have been just get out of there.
There's no self-defense for that when you got 5 on you. Sorry, that can.
I know. That footage is like dozens of bits of footage that I've seen over the last few weeks as well. I've seen video footage after video footage of white guys being attacked by gangs of Africans, by African gangs, and it's white
gangs
person,
of African appearance.
African gangs. Just white person after white person after white person, just looking at these people in shock. It's like every person who just receives a blow. It's like each blow is like a knock. It's not really a physical blow. It's like a blow to their whole perception of the world. It's like, hey, it's like these people are going, hey, I have believed all this stuff. I've believed that you guys are victimized, and I'm trying to help you, and I'm on your side. Why are you attacking me? It's like that footage of the guy getting attacked in the mall, and he's on the ground, and the African is like punching him, and he's saying, "Don't touch me," and the guy's apologizing to the African. It's like white people don't quite get it just yet. They don't quite get that they're in a race war.
Cowards.
You're going to see that reaction change soon.
And we saw that fatal stabbing of a 15-year-old boy outside Bringbank shopping centre in Deer Park. 6 teenagers, they were aged 13, 14 and 15, so really young, have been arrested in relation to that. But remember there was that meme during Daniel Andrews' lockdown, home invasions limited to 2 people. I assume that meant gangs were only allowed to roam around in 2 people. You're allowed 20 people in outdoor gatherings now. Obviously, the Melbourne's gangs have returned, and now extra police are being deployed to the gang areas.
But these were Samoans, man. I think a lot of people don't understand. The Samoans dislike these African migrants just as much as us.
Yeah, that was the ethnicity of the 15-year-old boy who died.
Yeah. I think it was an in-family fight. I don't think it was African-related, that one, from what I can see.
But this coming back into the news this week, it's just, it's another another issue that's stuck to Dan Andrews. So he's got coronavirus cases on the rise. He's got corruption in his own party. Now he's got the gangs back as well. And
He's got bad genetics.
And he's probably shit scared now that his text messages might get released as well, because we all have no doubt that he probably has a filthy mouth behind the scenes.
And that's the that's where all of this is leading. Like, this isn't about this Insomniac guy. This is about Dan Andrews. This is a shot across the bow. This is saying to Daniel Andrews, pull your head in. Don't undermine Australia's national security.
Well, that's your theory.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty strong theory.
And I noticed that the Twitter Labor lovies, they tried to initially say, "Oh, see, Dan, our man, has been decisive. He's sacked him from cabinet. Now he's quit the Labor Party. So what about all the corrupt LNP politicians?" And then they had to make the point that the chairman of Nine Entertainment Co., which owns Channel 9, which 60 Minutes airs on, and the Age newspaper, which also did the investigation. Chairman is Peter Costello, and it's, well, that's another. They've already been after Rupert Murdoch's News Corp. Now they've got another far right media outlet they've got to be on the lookout for.
At the end of the day, though, as well, it's one set of globalists up against another set of globalists. They can all get stuffed.
I wish there was a far right media tycoon conspiracy.
Trust me, one day, Tim, the Unshackled and the XYZ will bring down the government. Yeah.
Oh, they've still got the left, the ABC, the Guardian, SBS, Crikey, Junkie, New Matilda, the New Daily. I mean,
was Junkie the one that's disbanded? Which one?
That was BuzzFeed Australia.
That's BuzzFeed.
Junkie was the one who its 23-year-old editor died recently.
That's right. Yeah, and this is my reaction. You want to see it? This is my reaction. I hope the rest of them follow his lead.
Well, their lead. This Sam Langford was non-binary. And people might...
So what you're saying, Tim, is that he was following the stages of trans. Like the first stage is like you've seen the cartoon, like where the boy says, "I wish I was a girl," and then the next stage of the cartoon is the boy saying, "I am a girl," and the next stage of the cartoon is he's blowing his brains out.
Now, people might say that's insensitive of you to say, Dave, but
I'm just summing up what happens to 50% of them. Yeah.
Remember that people who mourned Sam's death, they were celebrating Wilson Gavin's death, who it would have been his 22nd birthday today, Wilson Gavin. His friend Barclay McGain on Facebook posted a tribute to him on what would have been his 22nd birthday. Barclay McGain, you might remember, he was accused of racism for his young LNP schoolies video, where he interviewed another young LNP member, Jake Scott, and said, "We should make our players stand for the national anthem, celebrating our culture, not one that couldn't even invent the wheel." He was recently employed, Barclay, by federal MP Andrew Lemming. He was recently dismissed from that and is now out of the LNP, so he's been spat out as well. And it seems, looking at the target, social media target still on Barclay McGain, it's like they want to make him kill himself as well, like they did to his mate Gavin, or Wilson Gavin.
Yeah, look, I blame these fake conservatives for Gavin Wilson's death, mate. Personally, I don't know too much what went on, but if it was bullying, obviously these people turned their backs on him and disowned him because he use some initiative. The Liberal Party these days, they're too weak, mate. They're so scared of, bad publicity. They screen their candidates. This is why the Liberal Party is so weak. Their candidates, if they've said anything minutely racist on their social media, they're stripped of being a candidate.
That's right.
And this is the problem. This is why the Liberal Party will never be a major party for us. We can infiltrate it, but I think that's been tried and tested.
That's why it was so refreshing that Tim Smith, state Liberal MP, called Dan Andrews a friendless loser on Twitter. And I said at the time that even tops what XYZ has said about Dan Andrews. Yeah,
well, it's too little too late, I think, mate. The election in Victoria with the gangs crisis, the last election in which Daniel Andrews won, was it a landslide? They should have got a Chad-looking candidate, some law enforcement ex-copper, to be the candidate, a candidate against crime. He's going to fight crime. But they didn't do that. They had this little, small, what's his name, the candidate?
Matthew Guy.
I don't know.
Matthew Guy, little short guy, very, very kind of weak. They could have won that election if they actually put their
We've got to wait until 2022 November for the next state election.
Will there be a government by then, Tim?
Well, it's fixed 4-year terms.
That's a very good question, and that's the point. That's the real point. Yeah, but everything is getting turned upside down.
Yeah, we've got a couple of super chats. One from PC Leaks Pete, $3. Thank you so much. He's linked his Veil for Wilson Gavin 1 year ago clip. He's got. I should put this in the chat. PC Leaks Pete. He's a great little video editor. I call him a little video editor because he's Greek and. So he's done a number of compilation videos which have been quite good, and he even went on the Dusty Bogans live stream last week.
Yeah, excellent. He's a good man, Pete.
And we've also got another super chat from Savnik for $10. Oh. YouTube censors this. You can take them out of the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out of them. I know nothing about what that means.
I don't know either. Absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea.
Well, that's the slogan of the week. I know nothing. Dan Andrews. I know nothing.
I see nothing.
Well, that's one of the memes that Barclay McGain got in trouble for when he was working for Andrew Lemming, because he had Anastasia Palaszczuk as Sergeant Schultz saying, I know nothing. And apparently that was offensive because her grandparents were Polish or in a Nazi concentration camp. Even though Sergeant Schultz is a fake character, a satirical character. And
my grandfather was in one of them camps, the Stalag 18A. And he reckons, mate, the Germans were so nice to them, the Allies, the Yanks and the British and the Australians. I think our whole history's been rewritten to suit a certain narrative.
Stephen Wells has said in the chat, slogan of the century, I don't recall. I think it's I can't recall. And then you also say, not to my knowledge. It's all those royal commissions where they can't remember the content of anything.
On the subject of the the rewriting of history, it's actually very interesting when you watch an old war movie from the 50s and 60s, even the 70s, because back then, the people who fought it were still alive.
Yeah.
It was still in living memory, and so the people in the movie still spoke and looked like the people who fought in the war, and when you saw the Germans depicted, they were depicted as Germans. These days, when you see a war movie, they're not Germans anymore. They're Nazis. There's been a gradual dehumanization of them over time. It's after the war, something like 6 million Germans were actually murdered. After the end of hostilities.
But the Australian soldiers were anti-fascists, Dave. They were the first anti-fascists.
Yeah, because they definitely fought for the Anzacs for Drag Queen Story Hour. They definitely fought for that.
That's why they stormed the beaches. Yeah. And so yeah, it's the longer it's been, the more dehumanized they become, and the narrower the focus of World War II history becomes as well.
Well, we still had the White Australia policy when they went to war.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Well, are they fighting for that or? Like,
well, talk to the Black Lives Matter protesters now, and yeah, they're bringing that up too. Yeah.
I just want to go back to Adem Somyurek for a moment. I mentioned this on Trad Tasman Talk on Tuesday, but it's worth mentioning again that he was involved in a 2018 altercation with a factional rival, John Byrne, in the parliamentary kitchen, where John Byrne claims that Adem Somyurek threatened him with a butter knife. And John Byrne is also a Turk as well, so it was a battle between two Turks.
and there's the problem right there. Yeah.
I know that our Greeks in the chat, Australian Meditations and PC Leaks Pete, that'll get them rolled up.
Yeah, it's funny. He does look like the kind of weakling who'll talk big, but when he threatens, it's a butter knife.
The Turks are famous for knife fighting.
And he started off his working life, Adem Somyurek, as a cab driver. Imagine having him as a cab driver.
Okay, yeah. There you go. Oh, like of all the cab drivers I've had, he'd probably be sort of somewhere in the middle. Mm.
Oh, the other thing we should talk about, Ernie Dingo. What did he claims that he was racially abused on exiting a train in Perth. After a passenger exiting a train in Perth CBD made the racial slur at Dingo, the actor said he chased him and whacked him, adding it, "I don't take that shit from anyone." And he claims he's been copying a racial abuse since he was a child. And it actually turns out this man who racially abused him was a 60-something mentally ill man.
Mind you, Ernie Dingo he's a race hustler as well. Like, he's the guy who invented the Welcome to Country ceremony. And
a few years back, he was accused of slapping an 11-year-old boy.
He's got some issues, doesn't he? Yeah. Doesn't he have some domestic violence issues or something?
I don't know about that. I think the mother...
But the woman was racist against him as well.
Yeah. The mother of that 11-year-old said, "Help! A dingo slapped my baby."
Tim, you're on fire tonight, mate.
Gold. I love it.
Yeah, I save that singer up. But he's in his 60s now, Ernie Dingo, and we know that when these sort of celebrities get washed up, they play the race or social justice card, sort of like how those ex-Charmed witches, Rose McGowan and Alyssa Milano, are now feminists, or full-time feminists, it seems.
That's the thing. It's now socially acceptable for black people to just for no reason hit white people, and all they have to say is, "Oh, he said something racist," and everybody will believe the black person. Yeah, that shows you where institutional power is directed now. It's directed against us now. On a brighter note, one of my favorite bits of footage is actually of there was a moon landing conspiracy theorist who actually went up to Neil Armstrong. He went up to him and he started accusing him of having faked the moon landing.
Was it
Buzz Aldrin?
I think so.
Buzz Aldrin, yeah. And so Buzz Aldrin just punched him in the face.
Yeah, good on him. I don't believe the land's on the
And-
moon, but
yeah,
good on him for hitting him.
And the police, the police, I think they arrested the guy who he hit, and the guy's a national hero, and so everyone stood up for Buzz Aldrin, and there's a guy who actually did something.
Hey, get back to Rose McGowan. Isn't she a supporter of mine and Blair's and Andy Nolch's?
Yeah. She recorded a special
No, she's a good
message to-
supporter.
Yeah, and she said that she liked Andy Nolt's paintings, and thank you for visiting Ulysses Memorial.
He rang me yesterday from prison, Andy Nolch. He's been locked up.
Did he say to you, "Oh, you're a shit lawyer, Erickson"?
Well, I can't really defend him for breaching his corrections order.
Yeah, but
I
you
think,
were his legal counsel, according to the mainstream
well,
media.
what a lot of people don't know is his original fine was $20,000 and it was knocked down to $10,000. So I think I've done pretty well originally, helping him out. But yeah, man, he got 5 months. So yeah,
Hey,
and I was in court for that gay church the other week or the other month, and I sat there and I was watching this girl. She was probably 22. She's breached her corrections order 3 times in the past, the same corrections order. She's stolen cars, she's shoplifted, she's been caught with heroin, blah, blah, blah. And this is the judge that I had who had a gay flag on her desk, who had a very short haircut. And she said to her, "Oh, you look very interesting. Whereabouts are you from?" She says, "Oh, my father's Mauritius." She goes, "Oh, that's great. All right, well, I'll extend your corrections order. It's okay. Just don't stuff up again." Andy Nolch, what does he do? He goes overseas for work, okay? He's not fleeing justice. He's not committing crimes, and he gets a 5-month sentence.
The work part is questionable given what he's been charged with now.
What can't you in court? Magic mushies. I didn't know it was illegal. There's a story behind that, but I'll let him tell that story. But yeah.
Hey, so Stefanos has sent through a story that we haven't talked about yet. The headline here is from The Age. Yarra Council to consider consulting with the Aboriginal community on Captain Cook's statue. And the opening paragraphs are quite telling here. Yarra Council will be asked to consult with the Aboriginal community on whether to keep a memorial to Captain James Cook in Edinburgh Gardens, which was defaced on Sunday. Councillor Stephen Jolly, ever heard of him? Will put the plaque up for debate in an amendment to a motion from Greens Councillor Amanda Stone. Councillor Stone's 3-page motion, Yarra response to the Black Lives Matter movement, will be debated at next week's council meeting. Yeah.
Hey, didn't Stephen Jolly, he fat-shamed you once when you invaded a council meeting.
He actually did. I was getting pretty fat. I go through stages. I put on the weight, I get thin. Usually when I'm putting on the weight, I have a missus. That's usually how you can tell. But
I saw the footage of that. I think I wrote an article on that because I remember that footage
I think you did.
distinctly. I think Stephen Jolly was actually cowering under his chair.
I don't think
yes, he was cowering.
He was scared. He was scared. He
was absolutely scared.
Dude, that's the first time any nationalist has ever done anything like that to them in Melbourne, and I think it really scared him a little bit. But Jolly, he's a decent enemy or decent opponent, and the left have churned him out. I won't get into that, but the left, this is how they're self-destructive. Yeah, you had Anthony Mayne, you had Stephen Jolly. They were the head of the Socialist Party. They're very good at what they do. They're very good at getting votes and getting support from the local community. He's been churned out by the left. They've kicked him out for sexism or something, and same with Anthony Mayne. But these were formidable enemies. These guys were, I wouldn't say they were alpha males, but they weren't emasculated men that they have now. These were actual proper socialists, and they've slowly been removed from their organisation. So I think Jolly's pretty much finished now, but it's sad to see that our enemies have now turned into transgender, wool hair, lesbians. That's our enemies now.
Yeah.
And our true formidable enemies have been removed. So, yeah. So good luck to Jolly, I guess.
Do you know what? On those lines, I remember when I used to get driven to school, in periods
chairs creaking.
in high
that's mine.
school. we would have the ABC we would have the ABC news on the way in, like we'd be listening to AM on my way into school, and so I would get geopolitics every single morning. I would get trained in it as part of my political formation. I still listen to the ABC as I'm driving into work because know thy enemy. But what do I hear? I hear identity politics the entire time. I hear like puff pieces about some a black artist in Minnesota, like who I don't know has found a way to connect with immigrants from Morocco or something like that, and I'm just like, how is this news? Like I used to hear stories about like how Eastern Europe was trying to find its way back into civilization after being freed from the Soviet Union. That's the sort of stuff I used to listen to when I was a kid, and now I'm just hearing just nonsense. It's not even a story. Nobody's interested in this stuff, but this is supposed to be on like the national broadcaster, which is telling us the most important news around the country, around the world.
That's their ABC Life section. Oh, well, it's more like the ABC No Life section. Based on the stories.
What's that, the conversation, isn't it?
No, that's a separate academic opinion website, but it's got government money in the past. They're the ones that banned comments of climate denial. Does that include criticisms of Greta Thunberg?
Oh, well, let's talk about that. So that's what got me one of those bans, because I criticized Greta Thunberg. I called her a retarded communist bitch. So let's think about what's been happening in even the last 9 months. Like, so Greta Thunberg appears on the scene, like, and obviously somebody who's so obviously retarded that she has to be a psyop. Somebody who knows.
Well, she's reading from a script.
Reading from a script and acting very, very badly. Mm-hmm. And you've got the entire world's media talking about her as though she's Mahatma Gandhi. Mm. And Facebook brought in their rule that you cannot criticize minors specifically for her, which is why I made a point of saying what I said about her as well. And then straight after that, you've got a bunch of lunatics all around the world who all seem to be very well funded, very well organized, all have practiced all these this street theater, all with these amazing costumes, and gluing themselves to the floor, to the roads. Those were both, like I said at the time, that those were both psyops, and the crazier that 2020 gets, the more I'm convinced it's a psyop. Then you have like the entire governments the world over shutting down the world economy and getting people to the world over to behave in a certain way. It's like they're trying to program people to behave in a certain way.
That photo shot was set up. It was revealed. I think they placed her outside of that building with a sign, and they had that journalist just randomly walking past who's got a blue tick mark on his Twitter. It's all set up, man. It's not
absolutely.
This stuff doesn't happen naturally.
Stephen Wells has asked, has Greta been invited to an expert race relations panel yet now that the riots have started? Well, she is Swedish. Racial harmony. Sweden has a lot of experience in, I'd say, aiming for that, probably not achieving it. So yes, have her on the CNN town hall.
Yeah, there's a bitch who's just begging to be enriched.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah.
Do you remember that article the ABC wrote about me confronting those soccer players, those innocent soccer players?
Oh, yeah.
African soccer players at St Kilda?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got an interesting... I had the police come to my house a couple of weeks ago because this article was it made me look very bad, yeah? Mm. You know, far-right activist refuses police request to stop filming, innocent St Kilda boys playing soccer.
Right. That's actually very mild. They could have called you extreme far right.
Well, they could. They call Ricky an extreme. What do they call him? An extreme ultra-nationalist. They call him
ultra. That's pretty cool. I want to be called an ultra-nationalist.
It's actually not a bad label.
My favorite one is the one where they actually said extreme far right extremists.
Have they actually said that?
Yeah, they actually said that. I'm not even a real editor, and I would have picked up on that one.
But anyway, I got a visit from the police a few weeks ago, they knock on my door, and you couldn't believe my shock. I have to be a witness in a prosecution of one of them innocent soccer boys playing soccer. He apparently assaulted an emergency worker, resisting arrest, a few other charges. So, yeah, I just want to
here it is.
my shock that...
Yeah. That's impossible. Maybe it was a peaceful protest.
No, you know what it is? It makes sense.
Was it a mostly peaceful protest?
The cops are racist.
Here it is. Here, far-right activist refuses police arrest to stop filming group playing soccer at St Kilda Beach.
Yep. Well, they've charged the poor African migrant. So yeah. So that's a bit of a follow-up on that story.
They blurred out their faces here, but they showed your face.
They were like in their mid-20s, but for some reason they tried to pretend they were like minors or something. But yeah.
That's right. They're all 17, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't there an Aboriginal guy up in Queensland that got arrested by the police and they were trying to recreate the George Floyd incident? But the media actually blurred out his face because he's one of those really light-skinned Aboriginals. He basically looked white. So instead of like showing his face, they blurred it out to cover his racial identity, so they can kind of create a George Floyd Australian version.
That's so funny. I can barely breathe.
Did you hear about this week's Fox political outrage? Queensland LNP Senator Amanda Stoker, she said in a Sky News interview, because the LNP in Queensland, they want Anastasia Palaszczuk to open the southern border with New South Wales, because Coolangatta Tweed has the twin cities. They're separated by a wall there. And Amanda Stoker said on Sky News that...
let me guess, did she say, tear down this wall?
No.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
No, she said that Anastasia Palaszczuk, she is the knee on the throat of the Queensland economy, choking it.
Gee, everybody's gunning for Palaszczuk. She should say, hey, that's racist because my grandmother was in a concentration camp.
Yeah, she had to withdraw it in the Senate, saying that it wasn't a planned soundbite and that I was just expressing the frustrations of Queenslanders. But
of course.
Yeah, the what was it that Northern Territory Labor Senator, what is that, Melanie McCarthy, said that this was a disgraceful comparison.
Hey Tim, are we about to? Do you mind if I just? I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys.
Why do you have to?
Yeah, sweat man.
Yeah, I don't want to do a. I don't want to emulate one of our greatest fans.
Yeah, I just put mine on mute. I was kind of wanted to leave it off mute.
Oh, well, so you actually did one on air.
Yeah, I can click mute, but I was conflicted. I thought, I don't want to lie to the viewers. I want to be truthful. They have a right to know what I'm doing. But yeah. Anyway, but this knee thing, I don't get it. Yeah. So George Floyd is the victim. Okay, he's the one everyone's trying to make a martyr. Why is everyone doing the knee? Because they're actually imitating the police officer. That's what I don't get. Why would you imitate the person who you hate? Like, wouldn't you imitate laying on the ground?
It's because it's because Colin Kaepernick, that NFL
I get
player.
it, but it doesn't look right. It's like, let's all be that cop that got on top of George Floyd, which basically was wrong what that cop did. I admit that, but yeah.
Yeah, Sam Newman, he's also got into trouble for his comments about George Floyd on his podcast. You Cannot Be Serious, that he does, because he said the players wouldn't have knelt if George Floyd hadn't been suffocated by a disgraceful act by the American police. Where does he? Because he apparently says something mean about George Floyd here. George Floyd, who is a piece of shit, incidentally. You know who George Floyd is. He had been in jail 5 times, held a pregnant woman with a knife. He's a drug addict. He's a crackhead, and he's a porn star. A knife, it was a gun. I didn't know he was a porn star as well. I don't think.
Yeah, someone texted me his porno video.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I want to see it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't advise watching it. But the thing is, what he did to that pregnant lady, this is their hero, yeah? This is African-American hero. Him and his mates got in a car, drove to some woman, single mother's home. She's pregnant. They burst in the door. He holds a gun to her belly and says, I'll kill your kid unless you shut up. They robbed her. I think they hit her or something too. But, yeah, and he did 5 years. He just got out of prison for it. So this is their heroes. Like, I don't know, like, is there... Like, would never have someone on our side that would be immortalised like that. I don't get it. I don't get how it works. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Not much of it makes sense anymore, and that podcast is appropriately titled. What's it called again? I want to get that. You Cannot Be Serious. That's basically 2020 encapsulated. You cannot be serious. Like rioters as peaceful protests.
Yeah, it's. I'll wait till Dave gets back because I want to talk about what you think the operation to remove Chaz will end up being. Will it be another Waco?
Well, I'll tell you, if it was Patriots who created Chaz, it would have been Waco already.
Oh, definitely. Armed right-wing neo-Nazis take over. Didn't Don Black and David Duke attempt to take over an island? They got charged, I think.
I can't remember that. There was the Bundy Ranch standoff that was about 5 or 6
was that Ruby
years
Ridge?
Ago. No, this was...
Oh, the Bundy, yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't want to pay, what is it, the Bureau of Land Management, BLM.
Hey, Dave, I was just waiting for you to get back. I wanted to theorise with you.
Yes.
How do you think they're going to liberate Chaz? How do you think that's going to go down?
I don't know. There is a theory that like if you believe the whole Q sort of stuff, that Donald Trump is just waiting for his base, real Americans, to actually just get fed up enough that they are prepared for the federal government to really crack down hard on the leftist terrorists. He's well within his rights to do so anyway. But
optics-wise, I think that would be a mistake. I reckon he should let the state do it.
I should let the state do it rather than federally do it.
Well, if you come in and have troops and anyone gets killed, that's it. Like, the norm is... I reckon he should just sit back and just let him do it. Even if they call for federal interference, like, he should just say, nah, well, it's your state. I don't want to get involved. Because that's bad.
What I'm saying is, but in another 2 months' time, it could be good optics. At the moment, it could be bad optics, but give it 2 months' time, it could be good.
This is what we were talking about before. Even though Trump is the president, he's got everyone else against him. People in his own administration, the deep state, media, popular culture, academia, social media, everything's against him. He's supposedly the most powerful man in the world, yet he's a lame duck a lot of the time.
Yeah, he's not the most powerful person in the United States. Yeah.
Well, it just shows you that even an outsider can get into that position and still can't do much.
Even the Q movement, they speculate that the military got him in somehow. And he actually legitimately didn't win. That's the theory. So, but Trump's going to be gone soon. Like, I don't know what the left are getting so hysterical for. Obviously, there's another grand plan. Trump will be gone in another 4 years if he wins. You know, what's after that? Like, people think Trump's the end of everything. No, sorry, you've opened up a lot of windows here.
It's the last stand of implicit whiteness.
Well, he's 74 and he's really fat, so he could just have a heart attack and die, and it'd be case closed.
Epstein himself.
Well, no, just a cholesterol-induced heart attack.
The what is it? The Mossad needle.
What is it? It used to be, 2 bullets to the back of the head. Then there's
suicide by 2 bullets to the back of the head. Yeah.
Well, there was another suspicious death recently. I'm trying to... that Australian World Health Organization official who died mysteriously of a heart attack at 53 before the pandemic.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. There's
Yeah,
a NASA space ace who just
Hey, I'm
mysteriously
waiting
died
for
as well.
this George Papadopoulos stuff to kick off. Because have you heard about that, Dave?
Is he the CNN guy?
Nah, George Papadopoulos was one of Trump's foreign advisors during his election, and he it's an interesting story. So he's very learned in geopolitics and very smart guy, and he started in one of the other candidates' campaigns, and then when he fell out, he joined Trump's. Never met Trump at all, but he went to England. He was invited to go to England and work for this company. Yeah, they reckon the CIA and the NSA were prepping him to take the fall for the Russia thing. So they were telling him, "Oh, we got the emails on Hillary, or the Russians do." So then he would go and tell someone else, but he's pretty smart. Yeah, he didn't say it to anyone else. Then he went to Greece, and someone gave him $10,000 cash, someone he worked with. He took the cash, he gave it to his lawyer because he knew something was up, and he gave it to his lawyer. He flew back into America. Before this, he went to Australia to meet Alexander Downer. And I don't even know if I can say it. It might be illegal. But the chick that was with Alexander Downer is, let's just say she was intelligence of Australia, yeah? He sat down. Alexander Downer said to him, tell me about these emails. And he tried to record him with his phone, Alexander Downer. Then he said, I don't know anything about the emails. He goes, the Russian emails. So he recorded him with his phone. Then he went to Greece. Someone he worked with gave him $10,000 cash. He gave it to his lawyer because he knew something was up. And he flew back to the States. And guess who was waiting for him at the airport? The FBI. They were waiting for him to come in with the $10,000 cash. So he reported to the FBI that Alexander Downer was filming him. Now, what else happened around that time? Julie Bishop and Prime Minister Turnbull all got booted out. Why did Julie Bishop retire? She's no homemaker. The story is that all these three people were involved in a spying op from the Five Eyes, United States, England, Australia, Italy, whatever, to spy for the Hillary Clinton campaign or the Obama administration on Trump's incoming advisor. Yeah. So they used the Five Eyes because you can't legally spy on an American citizen. Alexander Downer filmed him, which is an illegal act. You can't film a presidential candidate from another foreign country. So this is all, it's going to come out eventually. I think Alexander Downer was interviewed on Andrew Bolt's program not long ago. But it will explode soon when he testifies. It's more to it. It's a crazy story of like CIA, NSA kind of ops, trying to undermine the election.
I remember during the 2016 presidential election, Lee Sales asked Malcolm Turnbull, is it fair to say that the Turnbull government would prefer to work with a Hillary Clinton administration rather than a Donald Trump administration? Malcolm Turnbull was like, oh, you may think that, but I couldn't possibly comment. And I remember when Trump won, Turnbull did this press conference saying, well, we're still going to work with the Americans, sort of like we'll get through this. But on the subject of Turnbull, he he admitted in his memoirs he did one of the greatest branch stacks in Australian political history, stacking the Point Piper Sydney branch of the Liberal Party so he could knock off sitting Liberal MP Peter King in the 2004 Wentworth pre-selection process. And do you know who one of his chief branch stacking operatives were at the time?
Do tell.
Peter Van Onselen. Yeah.
Peter, I'm not a lefty Van Onselen. Huh?
Yeah. He claimed that he was just engaging in this as a sort of a political science experiment, just to see how it would work. He claimed,
and he's been running cover for Turnbull in the Murdoch press ever since.
He also claimed in this same podcast that I'm not a leftist.
Yeah.
But yeah, he claims that it was purely, even though it helped Turnbull get into Parliament and ultimately become Prime Minister, he said it was just purely an academic exercise for my academic career. I thought that he just said he did it like as a summer job before he took up his academic position.
Yeah, I guess he was young and naive. Yeah.
We all hear stories about the Liberals frantically getting all the old Liberal members out of the nursing homes to vote for certain candidates. It's on both sides, man.
Yeah, the thing was that was so blatant with the Somyurek one is that because Van Onselen claims that they all paid their way during the Turnbull stack. Well, in Piper, money's no object.
Yeah. Are we just about ready to wrap up, Tim?
Yeah, I think so. There's nothing else to mention. We got there in the end. Definitely a weird show, tech-wise. It's just a shame that a particular person can't make a document of it.
I'm sure there'll be a meme liked by 7 people. Yeah.
All right, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for the super chats. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Senator Slayer.
Always a pleasure.
No Trad Tasman talk
Catch us
again
later.
tomorrow night. It's going to be on next Tuesday. So
Hey, Tim,
Yeah.
consistency is key.
yes, gotcha.
Consistency.
So I'll see you next Tuesday, everybody.
And everybody, XYZ conference starting Monday, June 29, going to Friday, July 3. Great speakers. We're hijacking the live streams for a week. Should be a lot of fun.
Everybody, I've got 2 court appearances coming up in November 17. Melbourne Magistrates Court. Oh, guys.
All right.
All the best.
Catches.